Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to Studio Ghibli Review Month. So, yeah, we are starting with this Studio Ghibli Review Month, and today we will be reviewing When Marnie Was There. I'm starting with When Marnie Was There because, simply put, it's my favorite Studio Ghibli film. Um, why not start off with the best of the best, right? um, Now, as always, this all will just be my opinion. This will be completely subjective, completely based on my experience. So if you disagree with any of this point, if you disagree with this being the best of Studio Ghibli, that's fine. Um, yeah, it's just an opinion piece, people. So let's get this started for the first review of Studio Ghibli Month. So When Marnie Is There is a story about a girl who has breathing problems being sent to live with family in the my mind is blanking in the country. She's sent to live with family in the country to just kind of get away from all of her problems, get away from the just big city air pollution and stuff, and just get out and breathe and be herself a little bit. So while there, she comes in contact with a few other people, but no one really stands out outside of like the family she's staying with and all that. Um, but there, she ends up finding this marsh house across the lake from the town she's living in. And at the marsh house, she meets this girl, Marnie. And throughout the movie, she and Marnie become friends, and she gets to learn more about her. And her problems kind of melt away because of it. Now, I'm not going to give spoilers, but the ending of this movie and the reveal that happens is just one of the most tear-jerking things ever for me. Even just thinking about it now is getting my eyes wet with tears. Ugh. It's this is something that I reacted to back on the old channel before its termination. This was like I want to say Christmas 2016 or something, or somewhere around then. I did like these movie reactions, these Studio Ghibli ones. I did this and The Wind Rises, and this one easily became one of my favorites in that moment, and through multiple rewatches, it became my favorite by far. Um, just the character of Anna, who is our main character, the one I had been talking about before, she's so relatable and so believable. Like every struggle she goes with, you feel for her. Every problem she faces, you understand. Anytime she does something wrong, you don't blame her because you get where she's coming from. And every time that something happens to her, or something just goes wrong, you feel for her. Her connection with Marnie is phenomenal. It's just such a beautiful connection, and it's done so well, and it's done in a way that doesn't like force this idea of romance on it, because a lot of these movies will force this romantic idea with its main characters connecting like that. But this, it's more of a just genuine friendship, and I prefer that. The soundtrack, I mean, it's a Studio Ghibli film. What do you expect? The voice acting is great. There are some really talented voice actors in this one, such as John C. Reilly. Um, Really, none of the ones in this one, I can't think of like who the specific VAs in this one were. Um, I could probably check real quick. I know, like, one of the least organized reviews ever, right? But Um, let's see. Haley Steinfeld is Anna. Marnie is Kiernan Shipka. The voice of Marnie, by the way, Kiernan Shipka is Janora from The Legend of Korra. Vanessa Williams is in it. Catherine O'Hara, Gina Davis, Gray Delisle Griffin, Fred Tatasciore, or however it's pronounced, Kathy Bates. So some pretty big names. Um, The art and animation, again, it's Studio Ghibli. It's good. You have to expect that by this point. Um, and just the pure emotion of it. It's one of the more emotional and real stories. Like Studio Ghibli's great with fantasy. It's great with the fantastic stories that it tells and the just amazing worlds that it builds upon. But I also like it when it can go into these more just down to earth, realistic stories that really speak to you on a very personal level. And this one did for me. It was just really wonderful, really relatable, and just heartwarming in such a beautiful way. I mean, I had to buy it on DVD when I first after I first saw it and everything, and I did. And granted, I have the Studio Ghibli collection, which includes most of the Ghibli film library, but it didn't include when Marnie was there because that came out after the collection. So I had to get it. I just had to. It's one of the few movies that, after seeing it, I just had to get. Like, I can only think of two other movies within the past few years that have been really that impactful on me that I had to get them on DVD as quickly as possible. And those are Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them and Wonder Woman. So, yeah. um, Either way, I just really love this movie. It's just a fantastic film all the way through. The characters are really wonderful and relatable and lovable. Um, the art and animation and voice acting, all as great as you'd expect from Studio Ghibli. And yeah, the story is just so heartwarming and beautiful. And it's just like, how can you not love this? Like, I've seen people, like, no one ever seems to talk about this when they talk about Studio Ghibli films. And it's upsetting to me. I mean, they talk about other great ones like Howl's Moving Castle, Laputa Castle in the Sky, and Spirited Away, and those are fantastic. They talk about Grave of the Fireflies and how emotional that is, and yes, it is. But no one ever seems to talk about when Marnie was there. It just didn't leave that big of an impact, and that's upsetting because of how freaking good it is. But that's just my opinion. Tell me in the comments below what you thought of when Marnie was there. Tell me what you think of the characters, the story, and the heartwarming, or in some cases, heartbreaking scenes from the movie. Tell me all your thoughts on that and more in the comments below, and thank you so much for tuning in today. For now, I'm Connie Royal, and I'm signing off. See y'all at the next Studio Ghibli month review. Till then.